Good morning and welcome. My name is Lance. I'm the North Dakota Carnivore. This is the Sunday morning weekend meeting, and it's just a support meeting for anybody that's doing a ketogenic carnivore diet. Anybody needs any assistance, any help on a weekend staying with their planned way of eating. Sometimes it can be the hardest thing to do is on the weekends eating this way and doing this kind of stuff. So I just wanted to on it. Here, if anybody needs any support, it's not always the easiest thing to do. And like this month, I'm doing the and every other day I fast. So days like today is December 7th. So today is the day that I eat. Generally, I don't fast on weekends. The first thing for me to do is to fast on a weekend. And yesterday was my fast day. I did the live stream here. Then I was part of another live stream, and then I went to a members meeting on another channel. And after that, I went ice skating. It was still 1 degree below zero, but I got out there and I got moving. Got just got out there to get out and move around, just to keep me busy, so I wasn't because the food noise is real, especially on the weekends. I normally eat 2 meals a day on the weekends because of that. Sometimes I'll snack. It's just a matter of what's going on. Uh, I know yesterday I had issues with audio. I think that had to do with my computer restarted. I did that yesterday, and I did it again this morning before this stream. So if you're on here, my audio wasn't good, let me know. I'll see if I can make any changes here at all, make a difference on that. But I am streaming today on YouTube, on X, and on Rumble. So maybe it's too much for my computer to stream on all three platforms. On YouTube and X before and did issues with additional stream on here that is causing some issues on mine. It's a possibility. I don't know for sure. But I'm just hanging out. Anybody wants to chat, just drop a comment in the comment section. I can pop it up on the screen. Anything that's going on. So, like I said, yesterday it was well below zero. I was 1 degree below. The real pill was a of 22 degrees. I didn't know it at the time. My wife, this at home yesterday, she said I was crazy for going out skiing in this weather, which she may be right. I may be, but that's what I like to do. Now, like I said, I went out skating yesterday. I'm going to show you a little clip here. I did this here while I was skating.
So I'm out here at Citizens Alley. Mine out. Just trying to do a little bit of skating. They've got the little things for the kids that don't know how to skate.
I do not know what that is.
A couple other
I had
people out
this
here
video
on the ice
there.
skating right now.
I had this video.
So I'm out here at Citizens Alley. Mine out. Just trying to do a little bit of skating. They've got the little things for the kids that don't know how to skate. A couple other people out here on
So that was my get out yesterday, where I got out to do something other than around the house and think about food. I had to go out and do something. I did some outdoor ice skating. Yeah, it was about 1 degree below zero. Real feel with negative 22. I did my mustache. That's when that happens. At least I didn't have any on my eyelashes and stuff like that. 'Cause when that happens, your eyes can actually get stuck in blink. It worked before. Oh, hey, good morning, John. How are you doing today? How was your day yesterday? Plan or and what about today? What's on the agenda today? I see that. Thanks. I've had, I've actually done that before. Is my audio doing all right? I know yesterday in my stream I had some problems with the audio. I don't know how it is. I can't hear it myself right now. One of the things with eating a carnivore diet that it's taken me a little bit. It's taken me a little bit to realize how simple you can make it to get what you need. It's like foods are the easiest things to do and the best way to do it. 7.5 days. You're doing 21-day fast. That's right. It's further than I've ever made it. 44 hours is my longest fast. It's the longest I've been able to do it. I go saying I have trouble fasting weekends. For me, that's the hardest time to fast because I'm not home. I'm on days off. I keep myself busy or to not think about food. So yesterday I went ice skating.
right now. It's a beautiful
Did a little
crispy.
bit of ice skating last night or yesterday afternoon after the members meeting with.
So I'm out here at Citizens Alley.
This is what I did.
Mine out. Just trying to do a little bit of skating.
Had a lot of fun doing this.
Things for the kids that don't know how to skate. A couple other people
It really never moved up.
ice skating right now.
My temperature yesterday was fun.
Beautiful, crispy, -1. Oh, I got icicles coming off my mustache because it is cold out here.
Hey, good morning, Aaron. How are you today? How was your day at the rink? Keto? Have any issues with that, or did you stay strong and you're ketogenic? Oh, you're fasting to get down to your goal weight of 180. You're at 188 now. That's awesome. I thought about doing that. Now I'm within 15 pounds of my goal weight, and I've thought about doing that to try to. I haven't had the courage to do it. John, I haven't skated since I was a kid. So like, it is fun. It's actually a good exercise too. Isolate back. Aaron's not bad today. It was a long few days, 18 games over 2 days. Wow, that is a lot. Cooking up some bacon. Break my 36 or 7, 39.5 hour fat. John, 7.5 days. That's just somebody fasting that long. I know there are people out there that do 40-day fast. That's just crazy. Really just reading. And it's just crazy to me. Because I don't know, that would be, at least I think it would be. That was the last of my element for today. It's a chocolate caramel element because I am eating today. I'm not just. What else is everybody up to this morning? Anybody else out there fasting right now, or what are your plans today for your meals? I know I've got chicken wings a little bit later, and then I also have some salmon that cooking up. So salmon today. This is my fourth 20-day fast this year. Dang. I've done multiple 10 to 15 days also. John, does it count that doing alternate day fasting? I'll be fasting 15 days this month. I know I don't get the same benefit alternate day fasting as I do when I do an extended fast, but alternate day fasts. Fast was getting over the crappy cold, so fasting was rough. Yeah, I've been really lucky this year. I'm gonna knock on my wood desk. I have not season cold yet. Generally, I have at least 2 different colds from the end of Christmas, and I haven't had one yet this year. Yeah, I'm actually pretty lucky. I know last year, and where it's actually fasted during that, and I feel like I actually came out of it a little bit quicker. But and that was since I started ketogenic style diet. It may have just been that type of diet that made a difference. And this morning, making eggs. Not sure about dinner. Ground beef dish of some kind. Yeah, that's one of my favorite beef is just this right. Just ground beef and bacon. I love ground beef. I could eat this here just about every night. That's just one of the simplest meals that you can do. Oh, you're making bacon in the cast iron first time doing it? Yeah, I like bacon in the cast iron. It's just me eating it. That's probably eggs would go in right afterwards. But I like a lot of beef. For us, I do about 6 pounds a week of bacon in the oven. It's a lot quicker, a lot less mess. John, I had to go to extremes. This time last year, I was bedridden and dying. You were like, and you're down to one. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. You've had some great results doing this stuff. Um, you do a lot of fasting. Do you ever watch Jerome at Finally Fasting? Um, he's a fast carnivore ketogenic diet. He eats still whatever, but he lost a tremendous amount by fasting. Just about fast. All of my local groups at Aldi having a prime rib and beef tenderloin this week. Oh, that'd be cool. Why not how long. I really don't pay attention to the local ads or anything. I don't watch TV much. So, I guess I would never really see it. My wife would see it. But I do have guys at work that will tell me when, you know, they would. I thought it was, but just the getting a prime rib or standing rib roast would be really nice to get, especially on sale right now with the prices going up. Like it's just getting out of hand. But I do like to keep it, foods as simple as possible. And grab one of the simplest dinners you can possibly get. This was actually this last weekend. I had this. This was a pulled pork that July and 1 pound vacuum seal bags. Threw them in the freezer. And this was my last one. Just simple foods like this: bacon, ground beef. Now, don't get me wrong, I like steaks too. I had this the other day too. White the New York strip. I had the shrimp already, so good stuff like that. But most of my meals in the last have been basically of some type of ham patties, or you know, I've been doing some chicken wings things to Aaron and Larry, sharing their chicken ring recipe. I'll try this here. And or I actually chicken wing with Franks and butter for the sauce. Uh, Ranch dressing you see there. It's a jalapeno ranch. That is from the Carnivore Feed, from his Carnivore Companion line. Jalapeno ranch. Easy that he has. Just mix with sour cream. Well, really simple. Really easy to do. Oh. So, how's everybody doing for the winter time? I know winter's a lot different for people than the summertime. It's different, especially when you have uh, around people are coming and going. Like right now, my wife, uh, my granddaughters, I don't know, kids are going, but they have Moose Lodge just down the road here. They have breakfast with Santa today, so we're off doing that. Always you like blue cheese there. You know, for wings, I do. I also like blue cheese. I really don't care for uh, that much. From Carnivore Chef's Carnivore Companion, makes a really good seasoning. Not much winter in North Carolina. You want to have some winter? Come up here. North Dakota is beautiful. Uh, Almost the first. It's 2 below zero right now, according to my phone. It's a beautiful day. Yesterday, when it was 1 below, I was out ice skating. I actually put that on YouTube Shorts too. I posted that skating video. That was pretty cool. Being able to be out there and do that. You have snow today in 30s. Now you're just outside of Buffalo, Aaron. You're a fan of Steelers. Always good to have something to do. Do you ever go to the Lion games? Do you ever go to the Sabres or to the Bills? Yeah, watch them live. Yeah, yeah. It's just a lot of fun going to these live games. I've when I lived in the Twin Cities, we went to several of the Vikings games. The company I worked for was a they did free tickets. A bunch. We didn't just there, but a lot of people just ended up going up there. We also got to go to the Twins games, St. Paul Saints, do stuff like that. The live games are just so interesting to watch. Last year, my son, my wife, my son, and I, and some the Twin Cities watched the Golden play against the Minnesota Wild. Nearly, I broke up with the last one. I was asking if you ever went to the live games. You actually went to. Hey, good morning, Sarah. How are you? Wishing everyone absolutely great. It's a beautiful. Yeah, your first doctor appointment after 97 days on carnivore. That'll be interesting. You go to a few of those games a year, Aaron. That's so 90 days, 97 days on carnivore. That's awesome. Are you looking for any specific um, nothing that you're planning to be focused on, which, unless they do the science of cholesterol, it doesn't really mean they can tell you if it's the good part of the LDL that's there. The bad part. The good part is the large point. Bad ones are actually the small dense ones. It's a longer get back into the center at the liver to be recent. Aaron used to go to a handful of simple games, but you just by spending money on the steamers. Oh, bacon. Better eat that right away. I don't think uh, I don't think there's such a thing as burnt bacon, but there was. Uh, audio is you see if we can fix that. One of the things that this is streaming to Rumble also, and then in order to end the stream on Rumble, you can just end it here on stream into Rumble. And when I do, so it's kind of a pain. I just try to keep that window minimized on here, so when I get to the end of this stream here, I can just go to Rumble and kick it off. But I guess I'll have to do it afterwards. I almost forgot to do it yesterday. Is that any better now, Bass? All right. So I've kicked off my Rumble feed. I still have the feed on. I don't have that window up so I can end the stream right away when I end it. Now, are you doing the diet for just weight loss, Bass, or are you doing this for medical reasons? Like I started the carnivore diet because of my blood pressure. I was taking 5 blood pressure medications and I wanted to come off of some of it. And I figured this would actually help me get get off a couple of my blood pressure meds. And I didn't realize that it would get me off all 5 of them and quickly too. Rick? All right, Rick, how are you doing today? So is it Rick Bass? Nice to meet you. Where are you from, Rick? And you've been on the carnivore diet for 97 days. What brought you to the carnivore diet? Same thing on statins, yeah. My doctor did prescribe me a statin. That was before I ever started the carnivore diet. And no, that's right, North Carolina. You were just talking about up here earlier, wasn't it? You're saying that there's no winter. It's not winter up there in North Carolina. I guess I just didn't put 2 and 2 together real quick there, did I? But my doctor put me on a statin, and I did take it. This was 2 years before I did carnivore. I took the statin, and within like 10, 15 days, it was like every joint in my body hurt. And the only thing different at that time that I was doing was that statin. So I stopped taking it. And next time I went to the doctor, I told her what was going on. She gave me a different one. I took that, and within a couple of days, I was hurting again. And I said, heck with this. I'm not going to take this crap anymore. Yeah, the pool of bacon grease in the cast iron is great. It helps to cook it a lot faster with that extra grease in there. And I got one of those bacon grease containers with a strainer sitting on my stove. So when I'm done with my bacon, it gets strained and put right back in there. Yeah, you're trying to get off meds and lose weight? Yeah. I started out my carnivore diet. I was 335 pounds. And in a matter of 14 months, I lost 120 pounds. So it works. And eating the simplest foods too, man. And you don't have to eat steaks. You can eat the ground beef. You can eat the simple burgers. Oh, you've been on them for 12 years? Damn. My statin, I only took, the whole thing was less than a month. My blood pressure medications, I was on those for just over 4 years. And it was not something that I liked. Every one of the blood pressure medications I had a slight side effect of weight gain. And I went from about 260 pounds to 347 at my heaviest pretty damn quick. Aaron says he's hoping to start coming off his meds soon. I agree, Aaron. It didn't take me long. I went straight into a very strict elimination diet. All I ate was ground beef, steak, and shrimp for the first little bit. Oh, eggs. Eggs and bacon too. I was eating, when I first started my carnivore diet, I was eating on average 8 to 10 eggs in the morning and 10 to 12 pieces of bacon for breakfast. If I had lunch, a third meal, it was generally a couple of burger patties. And then for dinner, I'd have steak and shrimp, or hamburger shrimp, or ground beef and shrimp. But I ate a lot of shrimp when I first started. But I went from eating like 2,000 calories to close to 3,000 calories a day. But my fat intake was tremendously. I tracked everything I ate to start with. So my fat that I was eating was 75 to 80% of my calories were coming from fat. Added butter, tallow, ghee. I cut out all seed oils. I cut out all processed sugars. And you'll hear people say to wean yourself into it, slowly get into it. I just jumped straight in. I had watched like 2.5 months of videos of Dr. Barry and Dr. Chafee and all those doctors. And I finally just said, the heck with it. I called my wife one afternoon and told her to bring me 4 quarter-pound beef patties from McDonald's. And that's what I had for lunch. And that's how I started my carnivore diet. You have that strainer for grease. It's so nice to cook with that stuff too. Rick was at 281 on September 1st, now down to 2. That's awesome. Almost 40 pounds since September. That is really good. You'll get there quickly too. Just keep eating this way. And I guess it took me, the hardest thing for me was the electrolytes. Getting into taking the electrolytes when I needed them. I feel it now when my body doesn't have them. So when I fast, I have electrolytes. When I'm not fasting and I'm just regular eating, I just use more salt most of the time now. You have daily blood pressure readings since September 23. BP has been perfect. No meds since September. That is awesome. So you stopped your BP meds quickly. I came off of all 5 of mine in about 6 weeks. The last one I had to get rid of was a dual med, and I went to my doctor for that because I was on the max dose. And after she cut that back, I got off of mine pretty quickly. It was less than a week of that, and I was done with them. You've added back some basic veggies, spinach, Brussels sprouts, little cauliflower and broccoli, onions. So go more to the ketovore or ketovore diet than a strict carnivore diet. It works better for some people. Anytime I've tried to add any fruit or veggie back into anything that I've had, other than some seasonings, and even some seasonings, if I use too much of it, my body doesn't like it. So, yeah, it's best to go through the doctor to wean off of your medications. 3 of the 5 I did on my own because they were low dose, and my blood pressure was low, so I stopped taking one of them. A couple of days later, my blood pressure was low again, so I stopped taking another. And it wasn't until I got rid of that last one that I was actually really happy. And at the same time, because I had the little, the pill container, you put all your pills in the container, so I can take mine a day in the morning and then take the ones I have to take at night. And that's where I have my allergy medications too. I stopped taking my allergy medication at the same time I stopped taking my blood pressure medication, not because I thought my allergy was gone. It's just I didn't have that container to put them in anymore, and my allergies were gone. John says, we have similar stories with medications. You're on insulin and other diabetic medications. You're also on the heart medication. Starting weight was 367, and you're off of all medications now. That's great, John. Overcoming type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance is absolutely fabulous. It's one of the best benefits of this diet is what it does for your insulin. And if you know what insulin resistance does to the body, it's a tremendous thing to have this diet on your side. If you could give up dairy, I'd be at goal. Yeah. Dairy has one purpose, and that's to fatten the animal that's eating it, whether it's a cow or a man. That's the only thing that's supposed to do. You're okay with slow results if you can still have things that you enjoy, but you can't be miserable. And this isn't supposed to make you miserable. And for me, my mindset is where food used to be entertainment, I don't look at it that way anymore. If you can look at the food that you're eating is no longer for entertainment, it's just for your nutrition and for energy. that's the way I look at it. And I look at the food that I was eating before, and it didn't do what I wanted to do for energy or for my nutrition. So I just don't eat that. That was the easiest thing for me to do. Honestly, the best results, you had your best results on keto. And if that's where you've had your best results, then that's where I would go to. Rick says, honestly, didn't eat veggies anyway, but good for you, Aaron. Yeah, I never really liked vegetables. Meat and potatoes. I'd eat potatoes, but for the rest of the vegetables, I really didn't care for them. And Rick says, awesome, John. Oh, and your A1C went from 6.2 to 5.1. Your cholesterol numbers did go up. Yep. That's what concerns me for my appointment tomorrow. Well, Rick, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving you medical advice, but your cholesterol has a purpose, especially your LDL cholesterol. The LDL cholesterol is what brings everything to your cells of the body that you need. When it leaves your liver, it's a large, buoyant molecule, and it goes through your body and delivers its contents where it needs it. When it comes back, it's a small, dense molecule, and the liver has a receptor that it goes into and gets recycled. The issue with the LDL cholesterol is when you have so much sugar in your diet that everything's glycated. Those small, dense ones get misshapen, misformed, and then it can't go back into the liver to be recycled. And that's where the issues come up with the LDL cholesterol. The better look at your cholesterol and health like that is your triglyceride to HDL number. If you divide that and it's under 1.5, that's a much better ratio to look at. It gives you a much better idea of your metabolic health. And if you can do it, if your doctor will actually do this, which we had a hard time doing this with my wife to get her doctor to do her fasting insulin numbers, just to see that her insulin is working and her C-peptide. C-peptide is a marker that is made when your body makes insulin. So knowing those numbers is actually more important than your cholesterol, is your fasting insulins. John, reverse diabetes, still dealing with hepatic insulin resistance. Yeah. From stage 1 to stage 3, I was going into full reversal. What's your fasting insulin numbers, John? Do you know those? Have they tested that? And have you had your C-peptide tested to see that your pancreas is still making the proper amount of insulin for your body? So I know if you look at the ranges that the doctors have and the labs have, 25 or below for insulin is what they consider to be good. If you talk to like metabolic doctors like Robert Siwas and Dr. Barry and Anthony Chafee and those guys, a lot of them are recommending, or Ben Bickman, your fasting insulin to be 6 or below is what they recommend. You reversed your type 2 diabetes, Aaron, and then went back to old habits, and it's back again. I don't have diabetes, so I don't know that part of it. I can guarantee I had it. I never had it tested, but I can guarantee I had extremely high fasting insulin numbers. All my weight that I had was stuck on my belly, a huge belly, huge face, and I had a lot of visceral fat. My wife is type 2 diabetic, but she's skinny, so an odd thing that for people is to be a skinny diabetic. There's actually a name for it. I can't remember what it is, but it's a subset of people who are diabetic who are also thin. And part of it can be because their body is not making enough insulin when your pancreas stops making the insulin because it's been worn out for so long. That can happen to people where they just don't have the insulin and they don't store fat anymore. It's almost as like going from a type 2 diabetic to becoming a type 1 diabetic. Some people's pancreas just doesn't make the right amount of insulin anymore. So some people do need to stay on a small dose or a low dose of insulin or their fast acting or slow acting insulins. John says, yeah, I had that, had all that tested, but ended up with false readings. My trying HDL was 0.7, so this is you're well under the range for insulin resistance and reversal. Yeah. That's actually pretty good for a triglyceride to HDL ratio. I had mine tested. It had to have been the end of September, the first part of October, after I started carnivore, and my triglycerides were still really high. And I've had some extremely high triglycerides, and even my HDL, LDL, total cholesterol has been really out of whack as long as I can remember. But yeah, 0.7 for your ratio for that is actually really good, John. Hey, good morning, Bryce Biscuit. How are you doing today? Just got back from church. Dustin did a 4-hour stream this morning too. Ice skating was fun. Did have icicles on my mustache. How was that? So -1 degree. Oh wait. Well, that was -1 degree out there. The wind chill was 22 below, according to what my wife said to me when I got home. She wouldn't even come out there to say hi to me or anything. She'd had enough being out in the cold. She was laying on the couch, bundled up.
Things for the kids that don't know how to skate.
In the background there, where that building is, they actually had one of those smokeless fire barrels or fire.
I got icicles coming off my mustache.
Warm your hands up, so
it is cold out here.
It's actually not bad. But yeah, I was in Dustin stream this morning for a little bit too. Right, I was putting stuff in here so I could do stuff in this here, and I was listening to him. I had to leave because I was getting distracted. Right? Bride's Biscuit's not going to shave this winter. It keeps warm in New York City winters. Absolutely. It's the only reason I have this right now is because 20-degree wind chill and my face wasn't cold. I had icicles coming off of my mustache, but I'd rather have that than frostbite. I've had plenty of frostbite in my life. I don't need to have any more of that. How was your day yesterday? Did you fast yesterday? No, you're not fasting on this one here, are you? You were going to do that next weekend with a Grandma Crochet Corner or wherever that was. I trigger is okay. As long as it's fluffy particles, yes. The high LDL is okay. The triglycerides are a sugar-filled molecule. Small particles are not good, though. Yes, it's the small ones that cause the problems. Good morning, Larry. How are you today? Yeah, it was 22 below zero wind chill ice skating yesterday. That was a blast. Oh, yep. Have your triglycerides come down, Rick? and your HDL is a little bit lower. Mine does that too. My HDL always seems to run low no matter what I do. Yeah, the burnt bacon iron went down just fine. I used to hike a lot. Did a winter ascent of Mount Washington once, and it was -13 at base without the wind chill. Yeah, it's when you get down into the negative temperatures like that, once you get down to like the 10, 15, 20 below zero, it really doesn't matter what the temperature is. It's just downright cold out there. But it's not that bad. You get used to it. You get that wind though. Once that wind starts blowing, that's where it gets really bad. Aaron, your cholesterol levels are all great. Yeah, you're the lucky one. Mine aren't. Your triglycerides went from 101 to 184. Wow, that's different. I don't know about that. I don't know what to say on that one. That is different. Again, I haven't had mine tested, so I don't know where mine have gone. I would hope they're better because I'm not eating anything that's sugar filled or anything like that. But I know right before I start, like right now, I've been wearing a CGM for off and on for the last 5-6 months, and I've noticed that my blood sugars will go up even eating just straight beef, fatty meats. My blood sugars will go up a little bit, and then they'll come back down a couple days later, and then I'll lose some weight. It's like my body's burning that stored fat that I have that's got a lot of sugar in it still, and it kicks it up. It's done it even while I've been fasting, where there are days where my blood sugars fasting are high, and I'm like, there's no way my blood sugar should be high because I'm fasting. And the only thing I could think of is I've had the body fat being used for energy, and it's had a lot of sugar in it. And I've also had what I think is some oxalate dumping, just like little bumps that have just popped up out of nowhere, and it's just weird. Bride's biscuit, your LDL and total cholesterol finally started to creep back up, but try to stay low. Yep. And all other ratios are good. That's awesome. I don't want to see my doctor again until I get to my goal weight. So it's, I just want to wait until I can get to that point where the first number on the scale for me reads 1. Even if I step on a scale at the doctor's office and my weight comes up as 199, I'll be extremely happy because that is normal weight. The last time I saw my doctor, I was still over 300 pounds. So, and she told me that this diet wasn't good for me and that I'd have issues with it and stuff. So, Rick says I've eaten my fair share of sugar. My fasting glucose Friday was 91. Yeah. Mine this morning was actually pretty good. But that was also coming off of a 36-hour fast. I wasn't wrong. Actually, it was at 96 this morning at 8:30, and my ketones were at 1.2. So it gave me a GKI of 4.4. Aaron, for a while, my A1C was really high, but when I pricked my finger, they didn't match. Didn't make sense. My doctor kind of ran a few other tests. My iron was really low, which would have gave me false A1C. Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe, was it iron or ferritin? I know my doctor was concerned about my ferritin levels, and there was some information out there around that time that the ferritin can increase if you're using cast iron. But ferritin is just another metabolic marker for stress and stuff. You have to go every 3 months for monitoring, but your levels come down to normal. I'm chasing you to 199. You're at 205 now. Damn. See, you're 10 pounds ahead of me there, Bryce Biscuit. You were at 279 last year at this time. I'm not sure what I was last year, right after Thanksgiving. I can actually find out because I have it in. It is on my Fitbit, which is pretty cool. I do like Fitbit for stuff like this here because you can find, if you track your stuff like normal, you can find stuff out pretty quickly. So, yeah, last year in November, let's go to December because we're in December. December 7th, last year I was on 282 pounds. 215 again as of this morning. So just where I want to be. So I'm actually chasing you. High glucose numbers are normal during fasting. It's a cortisol spike from starting a fast. Yeah. The body thinks it's going into starvation. Body adjusts, and mine does. It adjusts back down when I do the longer fast. Usually by 48 to 72 hours, my numbers come down really good. Yeah, Aaron says iron. Your ferritin was high, but iron was low. Not sure why. Doctor wasn't worried. Yes, my doctor, she mentioned it, but I wasn't really concerned about it. I know I've watched enough of stuff from Dr. Berry to know that just having my test done in that short amount of time that I was on carnivore, the numbers were going to be skewed because my body is adjusting. Yeah. That's why I haven't had them tested again. Aaron's getting to 189. The last time we checked it was 209. So we're all chasing that magical one in front of our number right now. You were bad last November, severe edema, and 7 more diseases that you had. Yeah. That's really the hard part, is getting all of that. You believe you're smaller? You're 5'10"? Yeah. So I'm a little bit taller than you. Price boosted, I'm 6'3". So it's a little bit different. Degree of lab and isolation is one snapshot in time, aren't indicative of too much other than adjusting. Yes. Dr. Boss says she doesn't check cholesterol for her patients till 6 months after on. Yeah. And that's, remember if it was Dr. Boz? It could have been Dr. Boz, and maybe it was Dr. Westman was saying that until the weight, if you're doing this for weight loss, until your weight loss is stable, your numbers are still going to be skewed on a lot of these here if you're eating a ketogenic style diet. Yeah, so you carried 279 horribly. I don't know. I get that. That was like for me being at 335 pounds is probably what it was for you to be at 279. I was really big. I didn't carry very well either. Aaron's jumping over to Larry's meeting. That's going to be starting here in just a couple of minutes. You may have already started. So, well, thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. It's nice to have other people out here doing this here just to give support to those who might need it. There's not a whole lot that happen on the weekends. Like, I love coming on Sunday mornings and at 9 o'clock watching Dr. Kiltz. He's just a ball of energy, a ball of fire at 9 o'clock in the morning Sundays. He wasn't on today. So I missed that. But I noticed at one point that, Monday through Friday, there's a lot of people that do live streams and have meetings and stuff. And on the weekends, they don't. And this is one way for me to continue the fellowship and to keep me on track, is to talk and help other people. So I know being in Larry's lives really helps me. So that was one of the other reasons why I decided to do this. So. Yeah, Bryce Biscuit. I was on Larry's panel yesterday, and I had fun. I think I've done 2 of them with Larry now. That was the second one. He called the Hollywood Squares because there was 12. Yeah, it was like the Hollywood Squares or the Brady Bunch. I know when we looked at that, we laughed. I think that was when we had 9 people in there. It's actually pretty cool. And that was the most that they had in their meetings, which was really awesome. There's 10 spots to a live stream that you can have on there, and we had all 10 filled up twice. So that was really cool. But it's been 56 minutes now. Larry's stream just started. I just got that notification. So if anybody wants to join the Carnivore Quest live stream, I'm sure Larry would be happy to have everybody come in here and say hi and continue on with more of their day. If you don't know where it's at, I just put the link in the chat here. You can all go on chat with Larry. Then John says next fast, I'll be going into his reset of weight, something like 95%. Let me go back to the original weight within 3 years. The body fights to get back to its weight memory. And the body does have a weight memory. And it really does. I appreciate the info. Wish I could join in for all of them. Yeah. Jump into Larry's real quick here. I just put that link down there. Larry's actually good too, and there's a lot of good people in there that are knowledgeable on the diet. And we all have a good time in there too. It's nice to have you in here, Rick. See you next week. Bryce, peace out, Bam. Catch you in the streams. You bet. Yeah, there's the link. And John's out too. So we'll talk to you guys all later. You all have a great weekend. Stay classy. And we'll see you guys over next weekend, same place.